What's up, guys? Okay, so if you follow this channel for long enough, you know that the Bundesliga, the German soccer football league, is my favorite league in the entire world. It's the league I follow most often. I watch those games of. My favorite team plays for that league. So I have suited up for this video. I thought I would do kind of like a season review kind of thing, with going by every team, maybe where they thought they'd be, where they finished, the overall outlook, and where I think they could finish next season. Which, that last one I may adjust and do a video right before the season starts. Just kind of milking that same content. So, I could start either way. I'm going to start at the top with the winners. Because I have the most to say about them. So, obviously my team won, and I've already made a video about that. So, I'll try and keep this relatively short. Most of the season, it was very worrying because we missed a lot of opportunities for points. We won by 2 points, and it's good. Obviously, you want to win the title every season. And we also ended up doing the double by winning the Pokal. But I know it's a rebuilding year. You would have liked to see more progress. You would have liked to see a better outcome. Than winning by 2 points. And I think maybe next season they will. We lost a couple legends with Rafinha, Robin, and Ribery, the R squad. And it sounds like we don't want to sign James, and we don't really want Martinez back. Boateng has been asked to leave. So we're losing, 7 players there? But I think that we have the internal areas to continue moving forward, and I just think the Bayern's going to be okay. Just genuinely, it's too good of a management group, and also, we are making signings, and we do have some signings already. I think we are being rather aggressive. So I'm going to cut that short. Ultimately, where they wanted to finish, every team wants to finish first. I think it's realistic that they finish first. For Bayern, winning the title is the expectation every year. So, yeah. Next season, I think I want to win the title by 5 to 10 points, I think. Would be a more realistic goal. You're improving. It's the second season of a rebuild, but then you can actually move forward. So moving on to Dortmund. Let me talk about our rivals. Really crap season, honestly. And yes, you lost by 2 points, and you were a very good team, and you were in first place for a large margin, but I think it showed the gap in experience and ability in the mindset of things. And I think when times got tough, they didn't necessarily understand how to really balance it. I think at one point the league got up to 11 points over Bayern, and I was never super scared. I just truly believed that Bayern could actually right the ship and then eventually, catch back up. It doesn't seem like they're losing anyone. They may lose Alexandro, and that would be a huge loss. They lost Pulisic. I would call it a medium loss. But yeah, I think they'll be right in there. Worst, they'll finish 4th, finish 2nd at best. I just don't see them winning the title next season. So then we go to RB Leipzig. 66 points. 10 points under 3rd place. Or under 2nd place, sorry. I just don't... Really good finish for them. I think it's where they're happy to finish. They want to finish in European competition. And they don't always. So they'll get Champions League football next season, which is really cool. But at the same time, I just think it's a growth year. It's a push. They've never finished first. I've finished 2nd. I don't think I've ever finished 2nd either. So there's a really high finish for them. Improvement, but I think that with Bayern and Dortmund struggling this season at different points, and for a lot of the season, you would have liked to see a team like that make more of a move into the 2nd place. So since they couldn't do that, that's just kind of, I don't want to say worrying, but this might be leveling out where they could probably finish. So, yeah, well, next season, I think maybe right about the same, 4th at minimum. They're still going to finish in Champions League. In my opinion, the team is just growing too fast. I don't know if they'll make a huge mark in free agency, but or in the transfer market opening. I don't know about them. I don't trust that team that much. Been some inconsistency. I don't know. I don't know. Coming in fourth place, Bayer Leverkusen at 58 points. At the point where you're finishing 20 points off first place and 18 off second place, you're really not there with them. It really speaks to the class system this season. And they had some really good performances. They gave it to us a couple times. Highly competitive. I just don't know if I truly believe they could realistically finish a lot higher than this. And I think that they're going to lose a couple stars in the transfer market. Can they get them back? Do they have the youth to really fight for it? Excuse me. I could see them finishing 5th or 6th next season. I don't think they'll be in Champions League again. I think there'll be more teams moving up. Sorry. Gladbach finishing 5th. They are a really tough team, honestly. They beat us once. The other game was really close. I think we drew. Whenever they're being get points off the champions, it's really good, but there's just bits of inconsistency. They finished with 55 points, which is good enough for Europa League, but let's take a straight in the Europa League. I don't know. I would have liked to see better for a team that was challenging Dortmund and Bayern Munich so heavily through most of the season, but I think they're right about where they are going to finish next season. I don't think they have hardcore stars. They have Sommer, who's a really great goalie, and I don't know if I could ever really see them finishing maybe in Champions League, but I'd say 5th, 6th range is probably perfect for them. Wolfsburg at 6th, they really declined, in my opinion. They were so good at the beginning of the season. Obviously, they beat Schalke, beat Werder Bremen, they beat, I think they drew with Dortmund, and obviously Schalke was nowhere near where they should have been this season, but they had a run of really good results, and it tapered off midway through the season. I could see them getting Europa League finish. They really shouldn't get any worse than 7. In my opinion. They're a really big club for German football, and I really don't want to see them get any worse than that. Kind of rocketing through a couple here. Frankfurt at 54 points. The problem for me with Frankfurt was they allowed too many goals. I think this is 7 to 10 range is where I would normally see them finish, maybe 12th at the absolute worst. But if they could have just stopped some goals from going in, because they only had a 12-goal difference from top to bottom, and I haven't made too much of a difference about that. But when you're in these spots, okay, and you knock out 5-6 goals or 10 goals, from not allowing these goals, then that's a huge difference. That could be winning 2 or 3 games and drawing another one. There's 13 points right there, and that would put them in Europa League area. I'd like to see this team start to do better. I think they're on a climb, but I don't know. It's kind of underwhelming in my opinion. So moving on to Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen is a weird team, honestly. I think if they got some financial backing, went out and got some transfer targets this transfer market, I really could see them finishing higher. But as it stands right now, I just don't know if it's realistic to finish too much higher than the 8th. It's a really good finish, nowhere near relegation, not really close to any Champions League, but you're in the ballpark of a Europa League. I mean, they missed the Europa League by what? Sorry, I cannot remember all these numbers. They missed it by 3 points? 2 points? Yeah, 3 points, they would have had it. So, yeah, just a little more consistency. It would have been super cool to see them get in the Europa League, because it's a team I don't have to root against too often. And I like to see them play well. Now we go to Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim are a weird one. They had some really solid wins this season. Finished with 51 points overall, and I just don't know that I don't buy them at ninth, in my opinion. I just don't. I would have thought they were a lot better than that, in my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Kind of a disappointing season. Scored a lot of goals, but a lot of goals, and another team that could really do with some shoring up of that defense, in my opinion. And I guess the youth program is really good. They got a lot of young stars, but if they're going to keep playing like this, and yeah, they're only, 4 points out of Europa League playoff. Really, 6 or 7 teams fighting for that Europa League, which is why I love this league so much. It's so good towards the middle to top of the league. So I could see them finishing in that same ballpark, maybe highest of like 6th, 7th, maybe just getting in there. And I've kind of compared this to, because it's just so hard to predict with Bundesliga, because so many teams are right there. 10 at Dusseldorf. This has been a pretty great season for them, honestly. With 44 points, finishing 32 points off of Bayern Munich. I think if you would have told them that, and told them that they weren't going to get relegated, I think that they would be very happy with that. And yes, I think next season they're going to regress a little bit. I don't think they'll be as good. I think other teams will be better. I can see them getting 13th or 14th. I don't think they'll get relegated, but I think they'll be right in that relegation battle next season. Unfortunately, I just don't know if they have the muster to stand with Hoffenheim, Leipzig, Schalke, Dortmund, Bayern, the Werder Bremen, Wolfsburg, the other bigger clubs in Bundesliga. Moving on to Hertha Berlin. In my opinion, this is kind of a disappointing season for them because I really expected them to get more than 43 points. I think that the couple times that I watched them bringing up a game against Hoffenheim where they should have won it, game against Wolfsburg, they should have won it. They started really hot and they just declined. And you see that a lot in sports, and maybe that's just they don't have the muster to stay in it all season. It's really just a disappointing season, in my opinion. A team like this should be finishing far above 11th. Not quite in the relegation battle, but really not where they should be. They scream like an 8th position screams for me. I really think that that's where they would finish next season. At 12th, we have Mainz. The biggest problem with Mainz is, good lord, so many goals let in. Just not the greatest performance. Really falling out of favor here. I think that this is as good as Mainz is going to do, in my opinion. Sorry to say that, but it's just, it's just not good. I don't think they'll be relegated next season, but I think they'll be in that same spot with Dusseldorf. I just don't see them really challenging for anything serious, and even mid-table I think would be a stretch in my opinion, but it's just my opinion. Now on to Freiburg. Freiburg are a weird one. They play big clubs really, really well, but then they struggle with little clubs. I don't know if I believe wholeheartedly in Freiburg, and it's just kind of a situation where I could see them finishing 10th to 13th, in my opinion, next season. So, if you're keeping track at home, please post in the comments, and then we can talk about it. And if you have your own opinions, give me some predictions. I will be coming out with an individual predictions video closer to the start of the season, but just thought it'd be a nice thing to include here. And for the biggest shock of the entire season, no pun intended, Schalke at 14th. 33 points. So, for reference, I think, not last season, the season before, they were second over Dortmund, and they were third, and now they're 14th. I think this, more than anything, showcased the need for new management, new hierarchy at the club for a lot of times, where Dortmund was getting younger players, getting better, buying a few players, they had a youth system. I really thought that this is where Schalke could have, made some changes last offseason, but it didn't, and they paid for it with some older players not being able to hang in there. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near 14th this season, this coming season. I could honestly see them going as high as 4th. I don't know if they'll get third, second, or first. I think that they really need to make some wholesale changes. It was almost sad to see a club as legendary as Schalke, and it's with a fan base like Schalke, to get this low and get this poorly. It's disappointing, and yeah, they're kind of a rival, but you don't want to see a fan base go through like that, especially a fan base as like whole in their belief of their club. And yeah, moving on to Augsburg, our local rival, 15th, just out of relegation battle. I don't know that they're this bad. I think there were other clubs this season that overachieved. I could see them as high as, like, I want to say 10th, because I think that's where they finished the season before, but maybe 12th in that range. 15th is a little much. Way too many goals. For reference, 71 to 51. 51 scored and 71 let in. 71 goals in a season is just way too much to let in. It's a bad defense. Improving on the back end. I remember the 2 times we played them, I wasn't really scared of them. The second time, I think we took it to them 4-0, 6-0, something like that. I think it was 4-0. That's not a great season all around. But hey, you survived, and when you're not a huge club, I would argue they're the 9th or 10th biggest club in the Bundesliga. That hey, not getting relegated is fun. So now we're going to the relegation, and with the relegation playoff, what it is in 16th place, it was Stuttgart taking on Union Berlin. Drew the first leg, and Union Berlin won 2-1 in the second leg. I think it was 2-1. It was 2-1? Yeah, I think it was 2-1. Disappointing season for Stuttgart. I believe they were just promoted, and they're already going back down, and you had the chance. I can't feel too bad for them because you had more than enough opportunities to save yourself. I mean, you were 4 or 5 points off from not being in the relegation playoff, and then you had 2 chances to save yourself, and you didn't. And I really have a hard time feeling bad for you then. Just one of those clubs that I just don't know if they really ever had it to stay up. And next season, I could see them making a push to try and come back, but second Bundesliga, maybe third, fourth finish, so maybe getting that relegation playoff again, maybe seeing if they can do what Union Berlin did, and excited to see Union Berlin in the Bundesliga for the first time ever. That'll be really cool, and maybe a Berlin derby, that'd be awesome. Yeah, so get that 2 times now. 2 teams that were straight relegated. Hanover 96 with 21 points. Another team that allowed 71 goals in the season. Only scoring 31 goals, and it's just not enough goals let in. I think they're a team on the rise. I think that they're a team that could do really well in the second Bundesliga. I could see them coming back up in a season or 2, but definitely need to work on that defense, and maybe a couple more years, maybe some homegrown talent, maybe a couple minor signings. Obviously, it's not a club that's flourished with cash, but I think that's where they could lie, being back up in a season or 2. And for the absolute worst team, FC Nuremberg, in 34 games, they managed 19 points. I don't know that they were too much worse than Hanover. They drew Dortmund, they drew us, played really well, and then it's just hyper inconsistent. I don't know if they have what it takes to play at this league. I don't even know if I expect them to be back up next season. At the end of next season, it's a really rough season all around, and what do you honestly say when you have 34 games, you can get 3 points from every game, and you can manage 19 points? I was going to try and look at something really quickly, but it didn't really work out, so I apologize. FC Nuremberg is a situation where it's a sad situation, something you never want to see. You got parachute payments now. You really hope they try and get it together, at least top 5 finish next season. But this video is going really long. This is a really fun video to make. I love talking about the Bundesliga. I will be making more Bundesliga content. I promised a video for 3 months now since I've had a channel about why this league is my favorite, but promise it's coming. More in-depth analysis. If you guys are watching these videos every day and you're appreciating the daily uploads, you know, and you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, tell friends. Really trying hard to grow this channel. Really trying super hard to make videos every day, push content out for you guys. I promise we're still trying to improve quality. We're still always looking for suggestions. If you have any ideas, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear them. Working full time, married life, all this stuff. It's like, it's still a little challenging, but that's my burden to bear. So, any ideas for videos, things you'd like me to change, please let me know. If you like this video, you want me to talk more about Bundesliga, or you want to, get on the ride yourself, absolutely. So, hit like, subscribe, please share this, and trying to grow. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. Well, this video is probably going to go out tomorrow, and then I'll see you the next day after. So, peace, guys. Go Bayern.